Hey, this is Robbie Ray from the Giants, and this is Jim on Base.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jim on Base Show. We're here at Scottsdale Stadium at spring training with the great Robbie Ray. And Robbie, thanks for coming on the show. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's also an honor because I'm also a fellow left-hander. So do you do everything left-handed then? Or?
No, I'm kind of a fake lefty. I do baseball left-handed, right-handed, eat right-handed, do pretty much everything else right-handed. Baseball is kind of the only thing I do left-handed.
That's kind of like me. I throw right, left. I'm kind of like 50-50, so a little screwed up.
Yeah, that's how my son is. He's the same way. He goes throw right, right's left. So he's the exact opposite of me.
Yeah, and you have 3 kids, right? So how old are they? Oh, 4, okay.
Yeah, I have 4 kids, 8, 6, 4, and 6, 7 weeks.
So you got a fresh one.
Yep.
Are you sleeping much then, or how's that going?
I am, yeah. I try to take one shift at night, but my wife is really good about letting me get my sleep at night.
And you're from Tennessee too, right? So I was curious. I saw a picture of you on Instagram with like a cowboy hat on. So I was wondering, what kind of music are you into?
I listen to country, but I listen to some older country, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson. I listen to like the oldies. Yeah.
The real country.
Yeah.
I saw Chris Stapleton a few days ago, and are you into him? He was awesome.
Yeah, he's good. I got to see him last year opening for George Strait, and yeah, he's really good. I like him.
Well, at the Chris Stapleton show the other day, Adam Ray was there, and I'm wondering how you know him. Was it from playing on the Mariners, or?
Yeah, playing with the Mariners. He was like, I signed with the Mariners, and he was like, hey, we have the same last name, and just messaged me on Instagram, and we kind of hit it off from there.
Have you seen him perform? Because he's amazing with like crowd work. I love watching him.
No, I haven't got to see him yet, but I definitely want to check out his show.
And who are you like away from baseball? I know you're busy being a dad, but what do you like to do when you have time?
I like fishing. I do a lot of bird hunting. I do a lot of pheasant hunting, but I'd say fishing is probably main hobby.
And I imagine, do you know Mike Yastrzemski then? Because I think you're both in Tennessee, right?
I don't live in Tennessee anymore. Yeah, we moved to the Valley here like 10 years ago. Yeah, so I haven't been back to Tennessee in a while, yeah.
Well, if you had a podcast, what do you think you'd want to talk about? And is there any ex-teammates or current teammates that would be like a good co-host for you, do you think?
I don't know. So Ross Stripling had a podcast for a minute, and that was kind of fun. We did the kind of comparing to a former player. He kind of picked out like a Hall of Fame player that, had a similar pitch or a similar delivery or something like that. I think it'd be kind of fun to have the baseball podcast and, just talk about like players from the past and how they would do in today's game.
Well, that's a good pick because I've had him on the show, and he's a great talker. He's good at doing that role.
Yeah, he can talk for sure. Oh, I love Ross. He's awesome.
And when it comes to like movies, do you have any favorite sports movies or baseball go-to movies for you? Or
I mean, it's tough to beat Remember the Titans. I mean, that's just a solid movie. But baseball movie, I think for Love of the Game is a really good one. Just being a pitcher and watching a guy in his last days throw a perfect game is just there's something like special about that.
As a starting pitcher, do you have time to memorize all the handshakes during spring training, or do you get as involved with that? Or
it takes me probably a good year with a new team to kind of figure out some good handshakes, but I do. I think it's fun. It's a good way to connect with the guys.
And when it comes to your major league debut or maybe your call-up story, I like getting guys' stories on that. So does one of those kind of stick out to you?
Yeah, I think my major league call-up story, I was in Toledo, and we were about to go on a road trip, and I didn't have a suitcase. And so I was at Macy's trying to just pick out a suitcase at the mall there before we took off, and I got a phone call from a manager, and he was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, picking out a suitcase. He's like, well, you better pick out a suit too because you're going to the big leagues. And I was just like, that was the coolest phone call I've had, and it was just really special.
It's a great story. When it comes to, you give autographs as a player, so do you collect anything or hold on to stuff?
I collect jerseys. Yeah, so I have some jerseys that I have framed and hanging up on the wall.
Well, Robbie, it's been fun to meet you. Thanks for coming on. Give me a few minutes, and I'll be rooting you on the rest of the way.
Yeah, appreciate it.